This is session 9. The outcome of a business is to be a practical solution to its founder and customers. Let me suggest this: never run away from business problems. We will begin by saying running away from a problem only increases the distance from the solution. And before that, let me share some 3 simple thoughts. One, you are paid for solving problems. Let me throw a second one. You are promoted for solving problems. Point number 3, you are valued for solving problems. And the outcome of a business is to be a practical solution to its founder and customers. So what I want to convince you today, find a problem, solve it. Don't wait. You allow me to take 1 or 2 minutes to talk to those who are employed, the workplace problems, 1 or 2 minutes only. Then number 2, I touch on social enterprises, because in a big group like this one, it is possible some of you listening to me here are social entrepreneurs. And then I'm going to get into the profit enterprises. I have a suggestion about workplace problems, and I want us to test my suggestion today. So my suggestion is this: ask if there is a problem in your workplace, ask questions. This is your colleagues. Brainstorm with them multiple solutions. Don't try to solve it all by yourself. Define the solution, implement the solution. Let's start with Nelson Mandela. What problem did he solve? And I saw we have people here from South Africa. I'm not trying to get into politics. This is a business class. What problem did Nelson Mandela solve? Anybody? In one word. Correct. I can see the word apartheid. We are not saying that South Africa now is a very equal country. We are not saying that. But we know for a fact, because of the sacrifice this man made, because he was willing to confront the problem, a very risky problem. He lost so many of his friends, like Steve Biko. They died for the same cause. This was risky, very risky. But today, he's the leading icon in the world because he confronted perhaps the biggest problem we had. That's the truth. That was a problem many lawyers. He was a great lawyer in Johannesburg. Many lawyers avoided that problem. Let's go to Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa didn't make money, but we all know her. We all recognize Mother Teresa. What problem did she solve? Nobody is known who did not solve a problem. Nobody. What problem did she solve? Yes, Eric is right. Poverty. Extreme poverty in Calcutta especially. And she never tried to enrich herself. Never tried. What problem did Oprah Winfrey solve? Oprah is known by everybody. What problem did she solve? We are thinking about social entrepreneurs now. Well, yeah, I know she started a school in South Africa, but what makes her known? What makes us know her? What problem did she solve initially? Yes, I like what Frida has written. Black women empowerment. Anne says she became the voice of the unheard. Anne has summarized. She became the voice of the unheard. Today she's a $1 billionaire. And Anne Barker has summarized. What one social problem can we solve in our society? The top 5 social problems in the society. Poverty. That's all over sub-Saharan Africa. Immorality, drug abuse, unemployment, teenage pregnancy, money management, corruption, substance abuse, alcoholism, insecurity, diseases. Wow. Health. In a few moments, I want us to look at 10 enterprises that we can make from these social ills. And I'm not talking of social enterprises. I'm talking of for-profit enterprises from social issues. My message is this, and this is the message we are looking at today. Problems are wake-up calls for creativity. Problems are not stop signs. They are direction signs. They are not supposed to stop us, but to give us direction. on where to put our resources, our energy. A problem well stated is a problem half solved. So we identify the problem and then we start looking for the solution. Where there's a will, there is a way. Problem-solving leaders have one thing in common, whether they are social entrepreneurs, political leaders, business leaders, they have a faith that there is always a better way. Let's look at 10 problems. Just 10. Number 1, health. Let me give you 2 problems. Just see whether you can relate with this. There was a problem of wounded soldiers dying during the Crimean War of 1853 to 1856. Florence Nightingale decided to step in, and she actually started the nursing homes. Herself, she was a nurse. She was not a doctor, but she's the mother of the nursing homes. She saw a problem, and she decided these soldiers can't just die like that. Let me give you another problem. Polio was one of the most crippling diseases that killed so many people. It is what crippled, by the way, the Bishop, Jackson Kosgei. He's now an MP. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president of the US during World War II, he was crippled by polio. But Jonas Salk, a medical doctor, decided to work on the polio vaccine. Let's look at another problem, transport. Henry Ford decided to solve a problem, moving from place to place, from that time when we were riding horses and donkeys. Henry Ford never went beyond class 4. Think about that. He never went beyond class 4. He was one of the earliest manufacturers of motor vehicles. Funny enough, the Wright brothers, they solved the problem of traveling to distant places in a shorter period of time. Number 3, communication. For example, Steve Jobs. Phones inaccessibility. Remember, before Steve Jobs, we had Abraham Graham Bell, who gave us the first telephone. But people like Steve Jobs, among others, put the phone in our pocket. Mark Zuckerberg, the problem he was solving is simply because he was seeing our loved ones losing touch. They were not in touch. Number 4, learning. Let me show you 3 things about today's class. Number 1, searching for information. We used to go to the library, but because of Sergey Brin and Larry Page, we have Google. Now, for me to do the PowerPoints, this is a problem that was solved by Bill Gates. Of course, he has many other things. That's another person who solved another problem, Eric Yuan. Transmitting information. Just think about this class today. One person helped us to Google, get the info. Another one, how to make presentations. And another one, how to transmit information. All these people who came up with these solutions are all billionaires. Let's go to number 5. Money safety. That's where KCB comes in. Another problem, business capital. Of course, KCB solves this, but I decided to give another example. Professor Mohamed Yunus right now is the acting president in Indonesia. And after their head of state ran away from the country, some of you have been following news, but he's known because he started the Grameen Bank, lending money to the lowest of the low in the society. Finally, Grameen Bank became the largest in Southeast Asia, the so-called Asian tigers, simply because he tried to solve the problem of capital, something similar to the merry-go-round in Africa. That's what he started. Another problem, transmitting money, sending money. Another problem, pollution. Pollution. On the screen, I was looking for the name Wangari. Wangari decided to solve the problem of climate change. Big problem. She fought for Karura Forest She fought for Uhuru Park. She is the only person from Kenya who is a Nobel laureate. Like him, hate him, the fact remains, Elon Musk is still the richest man in the world today. And he has dealt with one problem: carbon emissions. Tesla cars are all over Atlanta, where I live. People have bought this idea that we can have a car where we don't have to fuel. And the guy has made billions out of trying to solve the same problem that we find as a monster: pollution. Problem number 7, beauty. Terry Mugai solved a certain problem: quality beauty services. Now, I am not marketing for anybody. I'm not holding brief for anyone. I'm not marketing. I'm just giving examples. I don't want you to mistake me. And that's the reason I did not use Top Pros, our salons. I just wanted to say this is a problem she solved because she came up with a nice place for beauty. She came up with a quality place for beauty. Then a friend of mine called, many of you know him, Paul Kenodia. He became a billionaire because of manufacturing affordable beauty products. And most of you remember Nice and Lovely, which he sold to L'Oreal. L'Oreal is the largest beauty company in the world. Let's go to number 8. Sanitation. Sanitation, the problem of sanitation. So let me give you 2 examples, real stories. Remember all the stories I'm giving you are real stories. We have David Kuria. David Kuria decided to deal with the problem of lack of toilets in the slums of Kenya. He's the founder of EcoTact. There is another guy, a lady and a gentleman, who are also doing the same issue, lack of toilets in slums. They are doing in Nairobi, plus about 12 other countries in Africa. David Obach and Lindsay Stridley, they are the founders of Synergy. Vimal, do you know these people? Vimal? Do you know these people? They are doing toilets all over Africa. And actually they received over $1 billion from Bill Gates. Can you imagine this, guys? Because of trying to solve this problem, they received over $1 billion shillings from Bill Gates to continue doing what they are doing. Entertainment. So I want to mention names you know. Names you know. Churchill, lack of local comedy. Now let me give you another one. The problem of illicit brews. Tabitha Karaja. So she decided, rather than these people taking the illicit brews, and not just in slums, Vimal, even in the villages, blind, die, and become physically challenged. Think about that. They be blind, others die, others become physically challenged because of illicit brew. And Tabitha decided to deal with it. There is a gentleman, I don't know whether you know him. He's called Maurice Betsa. He's a Kenyan. He tried to solve the problem of car theft in Kenya. He's the inventor of Block and Track SMS anti-theft car system. There's another guy, 2 of them. They did the same problem, but then so these 2 guys, Michael Mashina and Samuel Gidoi, also from Nairobi, they came up with a system that is anti-car theft and anti-house. So they have a locking system alarm system for the houses and also for cars. And they did this when somebody broke into their house. There is a statement, a very powerful statement by James Baldwin. He is a writer and a civil rights activist. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. And in this book, the one we have been studying this year, The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel has this to say: knowing the problem is not everything. So he's saying, find the cause of the problem, find the solution, implement the solution. That's what he's saying. There is a quote by Gilbert Cain. It isn't that they cannot find the solution, it is that they cannot see the problem.